Hey guys, James here today and welcome back to another Sims 4 house building video. Today we are doing a tiny home. So we've already done 2 micro homes. We did the one on the trailer, which is a few days ago now, and then we did the one that was the 12,000 simoleons, 3 Sims living in one house with no move objects challenge, which was a lot of fun. But today I thought we'd go up to the next tier. So we're going to tier 2 and we're doing a tiny home, which is going to be slightly bigger, basically twice the size of the micro home. Although I'm also using some tricks here and there to get a little bit more space, because there's obviously a lot of ways that you can kind of like cheat the system to not count for tiles. So one thing that I'm doing here, like around these stairs, well, I guess to be fair, I could have used less room with the stairs, but I thought they looked cool going around this empty column. Along with deleting that tile in the middle of the stairs to like save space, the other thing I did just here with this area is you can see like the way I'm building those walls and half walls is I sort of place them and then I moved them. So I built them somewhere else and I move them into position, which I'm doing here on the roof as well. So, and that was a tip that you guys gave me in the comments, was that if we do it that way, it doesn't enclose it as a room. It keeps it all separate, and it means that it doesn't add to the tiles. Yeah, it's cheating. Well, it's not cheating. It's in the game, so you're allowed to do it. I think it's a nice creative way to do it. It does mean that basically our interior space is going to be the 64 tiles. Then anything we have outside, like balconies or the rooftop, for example, doesn't count towards that, which I think is fine. So that's where I was going with this, and this is just a more modern looking home. And I was having a bit of fun with it. And I wanted to do, so we managed to get 3 Sims to be able to live in a micro home. So I figured we could probably get more in this one. So this actually ends up being a 4 Sim household, assuming that, you had 2 Sims sharing a double bed. So there's 3 bedrooms in this, 2 single bedrooms, 1 double bedroom, and then a bathroom and a small living space downstairs. I mean, the living space is probably that would be the most uncomfortable part about this, because it's so small. I think probably I feel like if I had made this a 1-story house, it probably we would have had a lot more space, because we wouldn't have used all those tiles up on stairs. And I guess I could have put the stairs outside and put like cover over it, but I was like, nah, I want to keep it all inside and part of the house. I think there's definitely a lot of different ways we could do this and probably maximize the amount of space we're going to do. So I think I will build another tiny home soon and see what we can do with that, see what we can do differently. So if you have any suggestions or like, I guess, challenges that I should try and do within a tiny home, which is there's 64 tiles here, let me know in the comments of this video. We'll come back or do another one. So this was my first sort of, I guess, foray into this style, and I was having a lot of fun with it. So I'm kind of just using whatever pack that I have. I'm not doing any restrictions or any particular challenges on this besides the actual 64 tile limit, and even that was sort of skirting around a little bit. I've also seen a few people asking like, what's up? I don't understand why people keep putting desks and computers into these tiny homes. And look, quite frankly, the reason that I did it in the last 2, even though we didn't need to, is because, well, I mean, the desk was one of the new items, so I just wanted to use it because of that. But also because it's like, why not? Like, you can do it. And then I saw, you could replace it with other stuff. And that's the thing with these builds. I always figure that, like, I'll build this, and if you do end up downloading it, you'll probably change out what you want to change out anyway. So if you didn't want a desk there, you just change it to, whatever you wanted it to be. I usually, and I've spoken about this in the past, I usually keep my builds pretty generically furnished, like really not that specific. Like I'll do some bedrooms, a living room, kitchens and all that, and keep that kind of stuff pretty basic. So then you could then just go in and add stuff in or remove stuff, change stuff around. And that's kind of the idea. That's usually what I roll with. So in this case, I did add another desk because I was like, why not? In fact, there's actually 2 desks and 2 computers in this house because I thought, why not? And the reason I did that in this house is because I did the first desk because I thought it looked really cool sitting underneath the stairs, which you'll see in a little bit. And then I did another one in one of the bedrooms because I figured the living space is so small. This is our living room and kitchen. So not very big, as you can tell. I do sort of do some finessing to get it all to fit in. And I think this is the first time I used the new couch, a new armchair from Tiny Living. I did want to use some more stuff from the pack because I figured we might as well. We're using the lot type, so I guess you need the pack anyway if you wanted to use this. Or at least I assume you do. I don't know. Let me know. I don't know what happens if you download this off the gallery and you don't have the pack. Does it just make it a regular residential lot? I don't know how that works. And for those of you asking as well, the 2 previous tiny homes are on the gallery. And they're linked in the description of those videos. So if you just click on that link, it'll take you to the gallery where you can download it. And I would assume that once Tiny Living is out on console, you should be able to get it there too. Because now that the console has gallery, which is pretty cool, you'll be able to get it, which is great. So I had to rearrange the living room here because you saw, like, I mean, I feel like having the couch where we had it before, cutting the room in half, didn't make any sense. So I've kind of, not ideal, I'm not super happy with the layout of the downstairs of this house, but I mean, it all does work and it all, it all fits. So I did a kitchen in the corner here, so you do have the cabinet there that you can chop up food on and prepare it and serve it, but there is no dishwasher or sink in this kitchen. So it's like, this is my biggest tiny home yet, but it's, I guess, arguably the least functional in terms of kitchen, because there's just no sink or dishwasher there. So you have to use the sink in the bathroom, but that still works fine. And I did also finally get to use that new coffee table from Tiny Living as well, because I've been wanting to use that for so long, but it just doesn't fit in the other houses. So that was really nice to be able to do that. And then this bathroom here, this is all functional and working, which is really, really nice. I did make sure to test it out because I wasn't actually 100% sure on that. But we got the toilet, shower, and sink in there. No bathtub in this house, which again, I think if we came back and did another tiny home here, we could probably get a better layout. This one was more about the exterior, and I kind of designed the exterior first, had fun with that. I kind of had an idea of how I wanted it to look, so I rolled with that. And then it meant that the inside, I was like, this doesn't really work. I decided from the beginning I wanted to do 3 decently sized bedrooms. Like each of the bedrooms are pretty good. More or less, the 2 single bedrooms are 3 by 3, although, I mean, one of them isn't. I guess that's the less and more or less. And then there's the master bedroom, which is a little bit bigger. I think that's 3 by 4. But if it's a double bed, it all works. It's really nice. No Murphy beds in this build at all. So there's no chance of dying from the bed. At least I don't think you can die from beds in another way in this game. So that should be fine. The downstairs, really nice. I mean, I'm still using a lot of the Tiny Living stuff. I actually really like it. I do really like all the items I gave in this pack. I don't think there is anything that I'm not too keen on in it. It's all quite nice. But I know I saw a lot of people like just confused why the pack is like called Tiny Living, I guess, because like a lot of the items just aren't tiny, which I guess I get. But I guess the main thing is the lot type and the sort of built-in challenge, and then some of these items like the dresser here as well, that is pretty small. And then obviously the Murphy bed. But yeah, I agree, it would have been nice to get more combo items, and I think I mentioned this before, like more combination things like a stove, sink, and dishwasher all in one would be good, because you don't really need an oven. You could probably get away without an oven, or if instead of a stove for the built-in oven, which is everything we have in this game, if it was like a stove top or like a hob on top, and then you had like a microwave in the counter instead of an oven, because that'd be pretty cool. You have that combination, then if you had a sink combined with, I don't know. There's a lot of like really good space-saving stuff, like toilets with sinks on it as well exist, you know, in the real world. Not in The Sims, but there's like all that kind of stuff would be really cool. I hope they do add some more of that stuff in the future, because it would just make a lot of these builds make a lot more sense. And I guess the other big thing that a lot of people pointed out with, you know, real tiny builds is most of the stuff that goes on in like tiny homes in the real world is like movable items. So you'd sort of pull something out or push something in, it would sort of change a little bit. Like maybe a cupboard would turn into a table like surface you'd pull up, or like I guess for example the bed, the Murphy bed or something like that, or like a couch that folds. Like there's all this stuff, and like if you look them up, there's some really incredible things and space-saving solutions. And I think I don't think I mentioned this before as well, like with the bunk beds. Bunk beds are cool, and I guess that does definitely save space. But loft beds, which is just a bunk bed basically without the bottom on it, and then if you could put like a desk under it or something else under it, I think that would be the real like money shot. If we could build like proper lofts in this game on the same level, so it didn't have to be a 2-story home, that kind of stuff would be cool. Anyway, so that was the double bedroom there, which is all functional, which is really cool. So we actually got a full-size bookcase in that room, which I thought was pretty nice. And then we had like the dresser and all that little details in there. This is a kid's bedroom. Nice bed. I specifically chose beds, at least in the 2 single bedrooms, not so much in the master bedroom, but the 2 single bedrooms, I chose beds that both had like drawers underneath them, just because it seemed like it made more sense to have as much storage as possible, because this house is not that big, so the more storage, the better. So this is pretty simple. You know, you got the toy chest, got the bluff, you got the height chart, little dresser shoved at the end of the bed. Love heart bear. I think it's all good. And I think I was trying to find some, you know, some different items that we could put in to make this place usable. But again, like I said earlier, it's kind of the thing of, I figured like if you move your Sims into these houses or any houses I build, you'll probably change it to fit your needs anyway. So this is where I did the second desk. I guess this room is kind of supposed to be like a teenager's room. So then at least they'd have a little bit of privacy coming up here using their own computer rather than the one downstairs. They have their own bed. The room is a little bit smaller than the kids' room, but you do get your own computer. So, I mean, that's the upside. You got the guitar there as well. Nice mirror. I think we got a few mirrors around the place in this build, which is really nice. And then, yeah, I was just trying to do lots of little tables and things all over the place. And then I guess up top is probably the real nice aspect of this house. Like this is all living space up the top here that we use as well. Doesn't count towards the tiles because I didn't technically enclose it. So that's a nice little workaround that you can do. And it's not cheating because the gurus mentioned it on the live stream themselves. They're like, hey, you can use the roof and it doesn't count. So I take that as, liberty that this is fine. It's not cheating. It's bending the rules. And if, rules are only made to be broken. That's my theory. That's not a theory. That's my methodology. I don't know. Every time I do a challenge, people always claim that I'm breaking the rules anyway. So, the benefit of tiny homes in this game, like micro homes and tiny homes and the small house, the benefits are like so good. Like you get all these massive buffs. Mostly micro homes, you get these like awesome skill buffs and relationship buffs. Gardens grow quicker. I'm not sure which ones are on the tiny home. I can't remember. The micro home has a lot of really good ones. And same with all of these. So it's actually kind of worth having these tiers. And then if you sort of bend the rules to get a bit more space in the house, that works out even better because that means you get all the benefits, but you don't have such a small home. Yeah, up top, basically did a barbecue, a little outdoor dining, because we don't actually have a dining table inside this house at all, which is something I saw people mentioning in the previous ones as well. They're like, why are you doing dining inside? Just do it outside. I mean, the reason is if it rains, they're not going to want to use it. You could put a roof over it if you wanted. That would help. But let's go ahead and jump into the game and actually have a look at this build up close. All right, so here is the house in the game. It's a little sort of contemporary looking thing. I put these trees on the side because I thought it looked kind of cool. So they're sort of sitting there. You know what? I regret that. I don't regret it. I think they're just a little too big. I did this after I stopped recording. I think, yeah, that's better. That's better. I don't think they should have been taller than the wall. Nice. Yeah, so this is a little house. Did that little hanging plant over the door there. I wish we had more sort of plants that sort of hung over the edge like that. I really like that. But yeah, it's pretty simple. Got the bicycle out front, which is, oh man, what is going on with this build? Why is that intersecting the half? Oh, you know what? I placed a bike before I placed a half wall. All right, so I guess we're just fixing the build now. Welcome to Let's Fix the Build. All right, bicycle there, bin and all that at the front. Yeah, I think the build is really nice. It's pretty simple from the outside, pretty understated. I've tried to start doing this thing where I don't use a million windows on houses because I realized back in the day I used to use so many. Anyway, so down the bottom, this is kind of, oh yeah, that's right, I broke the stairs. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, so this literally is fixing the build because that wall there breaks the stairs whenever they're put in. All right, hey guys, welcome to, I guess I feel like this is what we did in all my tiny build videos. Every time we went to like go check it out, it just broke. So anyway, there you go. Let's put that back, and then we got to change the trim on this. I wonder if when you place it, it breaks it. Maybe I should just not put that on the trim. That might be a good idea to not do that. Anyway, put that behind the desk there. There we go. That's better. My bad. So yeah, I thought it was kind of cool having this gap in the middle. So this doesn't count as a tile, but I mean, I just put a couple of windows there, and it's actually this little gap. It does technically get fresh air, I guess, underneath the stairs here from the outside, because these stairs here are outside. It is technically sort of open up through there. So this is the little living room using the new armchair and couch, little side table there, which has room to put whatever you want on it as well. Little coffee table in the middle, which I was excited to use. The poof there, the TV, radio, bookcase, little kitchen. I guess that's one of the big compromises. I feel like the big compromise in this house is this living space. Not ideal. I would definitely love to revisit this tiny home the tier 2 house. Little bathroom in here, nice and functional though. I was really hoping to get a second bathroom upstairs. I feel like we did waste a lot of tiles on like this hallway, for example, and these stairs. If I just done regular stairs, we wouldn't have wasted a lot of space. Or if we just did a single level home, we would have so much more room. So I think that's really where I want to go with this. I actually really like this double bedroom though. I feel like the double bedroom is nice and cozy. Like we got everything you need in here, which is really nice. But I kind of set up like a little vanity type thing here so you can sort of stand here, get ready in the morning. Because there's only one bathroom, I figured you need to get ready in your room rather than anywhere else. A little dresser there, the double bed. And I'm excited now that we can use these sort of beds, like, because normally, I mean, I still use them anyway, but normally the Energy 4 is so annoying. But now that you can actually upgrade them, like I think that's really nice. So I don't care so much about using lower quality beds anymore. Then we've got the 2 single bedrooms here at the front, which you could obviously change any of these into a nursery. Though if you're eventually going to have a toddler, I guess you're going to have to try and fit a bathtub in here somewhere, which you probably could do if you reconfigured some of this. But that is pretty much the build. With the up top, we got the exercise equipment, which I use this one because it doesn't break in the rain. Because obviously if it rains, you know, that's a problem if there's any electronics out here. And then I sort of built like a little sort of alfresco shade here because I couldn't fit that umbrella that I was trying to fit in here. So that is the tiny home. I think we'll revisit with another tiny home in tier 2, 64 tiles. So let me know your comment suggestions and ideas down below for the one we should do next. But until then, guys, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time and have an awesome day.